Have you ever pondered how to become the best version of yourself in relationships? Many of us do, as we all desire affection, respect, and genuine value from those around us. But how do we achieve this? How do we earn true admiration, not just for superficial qualities or achievements, but for who we are at our core? Imagine every relationship as an adventure, with you as the explorer of your own self. You aim to uncover the hidden treasures within your soul and share them with others. To do this, you need a mapa path leading to understanding, connection, and ultimately love. Today, I'll guide you in discovering your true value in relationships based on 9 ancient Stoic philosophical lessons. These are not mere empty pieces of advice you often hear. They are about empowering yourself in ways you may not have imagined. Get ready to shed light on the mysteries of cultivating a life filled with love and meaningful relationships built on mutual respect and inner strength. Let's get started. Lesson 1. Understanding your true worth. How does Stoicism relate to understanding your value in relationships? Stoics believed in focusing on what we have power over, and guess what? Your self-value is entirely within your grasp. It's not about how many likes you get on social media or if someone shows interest in you. It's about how you see and appreciate yourself. Picture this: you're a gemstone. Not everyone recognizes the worth of a rare gem, right? Some might walk past without realizing its significance, but that doesn't diminish the gem's value. It remains precious, rare, and one of a kind. That's you. Your value doesn't diminish just because someone overlooks it. We've all experienced rejection and felt inadequate, especially in today's world where everyone appears to be thriving. But here's the real deal. With a Stoic perspective, your value isn't dependent on someone else's validation. It's connected to how you conduct yourself, your principles, your deeds. Are you compassionate? Are you truthful? Are you living in a manner that aligns with your values? That's where your genuine worth resides. The Stoics believed in reflecting on oneself, so take a moment to consider your qualities, not just the obvious ones, but the deeper aspects. This reflection will help you find strength. In relationships, it's about finding strength in your own value, your self-worth, whether or not others recognize it. Remember, understanding your worth isn't a one-off event. It's a continuous journey, a practice that evolves over time. It's about waking up every day and acknowledging to yourself that you have value, not because of anyone else's opinion, but because of the inherent qualities that make you who you are. Lesson 2. Present yourself with dignity. Before you start picturing a Stoic as a stern, unsmiling figure from ancient times, let me set the record straight. Stoicism isn't about suppressing your emotions or being indifferent. It's about understanding what deserves your energy and what doesn't. And guess what? The way you present yourself deserves your energy. Let's talk about what it means to present yourself with dignity in relationships. Have you ever noticed that sometimes we go to great lengths to impress someone, only to lose sight of who we truly are? We change the way we dress, speak, all in hopes of gaining approval. But here's the key point, and this is where our calm and wise perspective comes in: yourself. Respect isn't tied to your clothing style or the trendy spots you frequent. It's about how you present yourself, the things you do, and the decisions you make. Imagine you're in a classroom observing two students giving presentations. One student is flashy, using big words and gestures to impress the audience, while the other is composed and speaks confidently without any pretense. Which student do you think makes a lasting impression? It's often the one who is genuine and comfortable in their own skin. This highlights the importance of presenting oneself with dignity. The Stoics, known for their philosophy of self-control and virtue, emphasized living honestly and respecting oneself. So how does this apply to dating today? It's straightforward. Be authentically yourself. If you adore diving into books, embrace it. If you have a strong passion for something, let it show. It's not about pretending to be someone else. It's about feeling at ease and self-assured in who you are, understanding that you are valuable just as you are. And here's another important point: treating yourself with respect. The way you treat yourself sets the bar for how others will treat you. If you're always criticizing yourself, you're essentially saying it's okay for others to do the same. However, when you respect yourself, value your time, energy, and emotions, You're making a bold statement: I deserve respect, and I expect to be treated accordingly. Think about what Epictetus, a wise Stoic philosopher, once said: "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." In relationships, it's not only about your appearance or words. It's about your responses and your demeanor in various situations. Are you reacting with desperation or dignity? Are you sacrificing your principles to blend in, or are you staying true to yourself, even if it means standing alone? This doesn't require perfection. We're all human with our flaws and awkward times. What matters is how you deal with those moments. Do you fall apart under pressure, or do you stay strong, learn, and keep going? Take a moment to reflect. How can we begin to show ourselves more dignity? It could involve setting clear boundaries or refusing things that don't match our values. It might also mean treating ourselves with more compassion and respect. When you view yourself as worthy of respect, others will begin to see it too. Lesson 3: The art of nonverbal communication. You might think this sounds a bit old-fashioned or strict at first, but hear me out. It's not about being difficult to approach. It's about respecting yourself and recognizing your worth. So, what does Stoicism have to say about this? Stoicism teaches us how to control ourselves and stay strong, not in a strict or boring way, but by understanding what really matters and not giving it away too easily. In a world where we want things right away and keep scrolling endlessly, Stoicism feels like a breath of fresh air. Let's think about it. In relationships or when we're getting to know someone, there's often a rush to share everything: our time, our space, our deepest feelings. But Stoics would suggest taking a step back. Why? Because when something is always available, it loses its specialness. It's just how humans are. If you're always there whenever someone needs you, always saying yes to everything, where's the excitement, the mystery, the anticipation? Let's talk about how to set boundaries gracefully, the Stoic way. Firstly, it starts with your appearance. Dressing stylishly yet modestly isn't just about looks. It sends a message. It communicates: I respect myself. You're not concealing yourself, but you're also not revealing everything up front. It's about finding equilibrium, expressing, there's more to me than what you see. Another crucial aspect is managing your time and focus. In a hyper-connected world, being discerning about who receives your time is a meaningful choice. It's not about playing games. It's about affirming, my time is precious, and I prioritize it thoughtfully. When you're with someone, be fully present and engaged. However, when you're not, it's okay to be unavailable, dedicating your energy to your own life, interests, and personal development. Stoicism also emphasizes emotional self-mastery. It doesn't advocate being cold or disconnected. Instead, it encourages maintaining a balanced perspective. This means not allowing minor things to deeply affect you. It's about preserving inner peace and composure. You don't freely give your emotional energy to everyone. It's something that should be earned, much like how you selectively allocate your time and attention. I'm not implying that you should become unfeeling or distant like a Stoic statue. We are all human, and genuine connections are essential for a fulfilling life. However, there's something special about taking things at a steady pace. About forming connections that aren't solely based on immediate gratification. It's about creating meaningful relationships that have depth and endurance, something that goes beyond instant access and quick fixes. It's important to note that setting limits isn't about playing tricks or controlling situations. It's about respecting yourself and staying true to your principles. It's about demonstrating, not just through words, but also through actions, that you value yourself and deserve to be treated with respect. So here's to being a bit more selective, composed, and stoic in our relationship approach. It's about striking a balance between openness and discernment, between sharing and reserving a bit. Believe me, it greatly influences how others see and treat you. Cheers to valuing ourselves and embracing a touch of stoicism in today's dating scene. Lesson 4. Be ready to walk away. In Stoicism, there's a powerful idea about letting go, not in a distant or uncaring manner, but in understanding what we can change and what we cannot. One of the most empowering actions we can take is deciding whether to stay or walk away from a situation that doesn't align with our well-being. This becomes particularly significant in relationships. We've all experienced this, haven't we? Being in a place where we know we deserve better, yet we choose to stay. It could be the fear of loneliness, the fear of change, or simply holding on to hope for improvement. But here's where Stoicism steps in. Real strength comes from realizing that we have the power to stay or leave situations that go against our principles, and we can opt for a different path. This doesn't imply that you should give up as soon as things get tough. Relationships require effort, understanding, and time. However, it's crucial to understand your self-worth and principles so profoundly that when something fundamentally contradicts them, you're prepared to move on. It's about having that inner resilience, that stoic courage to affirm, I respect myself too much to settle for less than I deserve. Let's dig deeper into this idea. Being prepared to leave a situation is all about respecting yourself. It means sticking to what you believe in and knowing your own value. It doesn't always have to be a big dramatic exit. Sometimes it's a quiet choice, a peaceful realization that this isn't the right fit for you. Sure, it can be scary. I understand that feeling. Uncertain future can be intimidating. But think about our Stoic pals. They showed us the importance of facing challenges with bravery and accepting life's uncertainties. It's about understanding that sometimes the bravest action is to let go of something that doesn't align with your path. This perspective can transform everything. When you're in a relationship and realize that you're there because it reflects your values, not because you're afraid to leave, it's a game changer. It shifts the whole dynamic. You're not staying out of desperation or fear. You're staying because it's your genuine choice. And here's the key point: when you bravely step away from what doesn't benefit you, you create space for what does. It's like decluttering the past to welcome in the future. It's about having faith that there are better things waiting for you and giving yourself the opportunity to discover them. Let's remember that being prepared to move on isn't about being aloof or uncaring. It's about valuing and caring for ourselves sufficiently to say, I deserve something better. It's about embodying Stoicism when challenges arise, understanding that our value isn't dependent on anyone or anything else. Lesson 5. Setting boundaries silently. Stoicism emphasizes the importance of actions over mere words. The Stoics advocated for demonstrating rather than just stating beliefs, which is particularly relevant when discussing setting boundaries in relationships. It's one thing to talk about your boundaries, but it's far more impactful to show them through your actions. Consider this: it's easy to declare, I won't accept mistreatment, but the real test is when you encounter such behavior. Will you uphold your boundary, or will you compromise? That's where true strength lies, not in words, but in actions. I understand that this isn't simple. It can be challenging, especially when emotions are in play. However, let's recall the wisdom of the Stoics. We have the power to choose our responses to situations. If someone oversteps a boundary, it's your response that establishes and enforces that boundary, not just your words. Let's imagine a situation where honesty is a core value for you, and someone tells a lie. How you respond in that moment shows how serious you are about your boundaries. Whether you choose to calmly address the issue or decide to step back, your actions demonstrate your commitment to your values. It's not about stirring up trouble. It's about showing self-respect by reacting in a way that aligns with what you believe in. This approach can make a real difference in relationships. When others see that you have clear boundaries and are willing to enforce them, they gain a better understanding of what you will and won't accept. It's about nurturing self-respect and staying committed to it. Let's delve into a fundamental concept with a simple approach. It's not just the significant events that count, but also the everyday moments. How do you react when plans change abruptly, or when someone doesn't value you enough? Do you brush it off, or do you express calmly through words and actions that such behavior is not acceptable? This is where Stoic mindfulness comes into play. It's about paying attention to the here and now and how you respond to it. Are your actions in line with your limits? Are you being authentic to yourself? It's important to be mindful of the little moments because that's often where your boundaries are truly tested. As we go through our day and interact with others, let's aim to embody a touch of Stoicism in expressing our boundaries. It's not about being stubborn or unyielding. It's about having that inner guide that shapes how we act and respond. And trust me, when you adopt this approach, people take notice. They begin to view you as someone who not only sets boundaries, but also values themselves enough to uphold them. Lesson 6. Actions speak louder than words. Stoicism, as we've been learning, is about using practical wisdom. It means judging people based on what they do, not just what they say. In our world, many people say nice things but don't follow through. This is especially true in relationships. Stoics encourage us to see through the charm and focus on actions instead. Stoics advise us to pay attention to actions because actions show what's real. Consider this: it's simple for someone to say everything perfectly, to promise things, to describe a future that seems flawless. But are they actually doing what they say? Are their actions supporting their words? That's where the truth lies. Let's be honest for a moment. Haven't we all experienced this? We meet someone, they say incredible things, and we're enchanted. But as time goes by, their actions don't match their words. They promise to call, but don't. They make plans only to cancel at the last minute. Yet we still hold on to their words. This is when our inner Stoic mindset must take charge. Stoicism reminds us not to be swayed by words or overwhelmed by emotions. It's about being logical and seeing reality clearly. When someone's actions don't match their words, that's a warning sign. It's like the universe saying, "Hey, take notice, something isn't right here." This mindset shifts how you handle relationships. Instead of being swept away by sweet words and commitments, you begin noticing small details. How do they behave under pressure? Do they keep their promises? Are they present for you, not just in words, but in meaningful actions? Here's the fascinating part: when you focus on what people do instead of just what they say, you set a standard. You're telling them, "I'm not just listening to your words, I'm watching your actions." And that really makes an impact. They realize they can't just talk their way into your life. They have to prove they're genuine and worthy of your trust. But keep in mind, this isn't about being negative or doubting everyone. It's about being wise, about safeguarding your feelings with a dose of Stoic insight. It means not letting emotions carry you away, but staying realistic. So, let's remember, let's pay attention to actions, not just words. Let's approach love with a Stoic mindset, being logical, observant, and thoughtful. Because ultimately, actions carry more weight than words. Lesson 7. Cultivating healthy skepticism. Stoicism and reality are closely linked. Stoics believed in understanding situations as they are, not as we wish them to be. This philosophy is particularly useful in love and dating. We've all experienced it, haven't we? When someone says all the right words, we're eager to believe them, even when there are warning signs we choose to overlook. This is where adopting a Stoic mindset can be beneficial. Being appropriately skeptical is akin to possessing a superpower. It doesn't imply being pessimistic or distrustful. Rather, it's about staying realistic and not accepting everything blindly. It involves being observant, asking questions, and not rushing into things without some careful consideration. Imagine this scenario: you meet someone new, and they appear fantastic. They're saying all sorts of lovely things, even talking about a future together. But it's only been a short time. Your skeptical Stoic mindset would advise you to take it easy, to wait and see if their actions align with their words, and to observe how things progress. It's like a gentle reality check, urging you not to get swept away in romance and to stay grounded and mindful. This skepticism isn't about bombarding the other person with questions or doubting their every move. Instead, it's about being thoughtful. It means not only listening to what they say, but also observing their actions. It involves taking the time to truly understand someone, to see if they're consistent and genuine. The Stoics emphasized using logic and reason, not just being carried away by emotions. In relationships, this approach is crucial. When emotions dominate, we may overlook important details. But when we combine our feelings with a dose of skepticism and logical thinking, we enable ourselves to see things more clearly. And here's another important aspect: it's about safeguarding your heart. By maintaining a bit of skepticism, you're not rushing into something without certainty. You're allowing yourself the opportunity to grasp the true nature of the other person, rather than projecting your desires onto them. So, let's keep in mind the importance of adopting a hint of Stoic skepticism. It's about being intelligent, attentive, and not letting emotions carry us away. It's about protecting ourselves and our emotional well-being. It's not about shutting ourselves off, but about approaching new opportunities with careful consideration and wisdom. Lesson 8. Saying no with confidence. In Stoicism, it's important to stick to your values and have the bravery to stay true to yourself. This is especially relevant when it comes to saying no in relationships. It means understanding your beliefs and not hesitating to maintain your expectations, even if it causes some disruption. Imagine you're in a relationship and your partner proposes something that doesn't feel right to you. It could be moving too quickly or asking you to do something against your values. The simple choice might seem to go along with it, but this is where your Stoic mindset becomes crucial. Saying no with confidence is about recognizing your limits and having the courage to stand by them. The Stoics taught us that our well-being is within our control, and this includes setting and maintaining boundaries. It's about being firm and clear about what you will and won't accept. When you say no to something that doesn't align with your values, you're affirming your self-respect and integrity. You're communicating that you value yourself and your principles more than the temporary discomfort of saying no. This isn't always easy, especially when emotions are involved, but it's essential for healthy relationships. By confidently asserting your boundaries, you set a precedent for how you expect to be treated. It also helps in building mutual respect and understanding. Remember, saying no with confidence isn't about being rigid or inflexible. It's about staying true to yourself and ensuring that your relationships are built on a foundation of mutual respect and understanding. When you confidently say no to something that doesn't align with your values, you communicate to others that you have a strong sense of self-worth. This fosters respect and can often lead to deeper, more meaningful connections. Your partner will understand that you are someone who stands by their principles, and this can encourage them to respect your boundaries and values. Let's consider a practical example. Suppose your partner suggests an activity or a lifestyle change that makes you uncomfortable or goes against your core beliefs. Instead of simply agreeing to avoid conflict, a Stoic approach would involve calmly and confidently expressing your discomfort. You might say, "I understand why this is important to you, but it doesn't align with my values, and I'm not comfortable with it." This kind of response is respectful yet firm, showcasing your ability to uphold your principles. This approach not only protects your integrity, but also invites honest communication. It sets the stage for a discussion where both parties can express their needs and find a compromise that respects each person's boundaries. This kind of dialogue is crucial for a healthy relationship, fostering a space where both partners feel valued and heard. It's important to remember that saying no is not about rejecting the person, but about staying true to your values. It demonstrates that you are not willing to compromise your principles for the sake of temporary harmony. Over time, this consistency helps build a relationship based on mutual respect and genuine understanding. Lesson 9. Embracing impermanence. Stoicism teaches us to accept the impermanence of life, understanding that everything, including relationships, is transient. Embracing this concept can lead to more fulfilling and less stressful relationships. Often, we hold on to relationships out of fear of being alone, fear of change, or fear of the unknown. However, the Stoics remind us that everything is in a state of flux, and clinging to something for the sake of security can prevent us from experiencing growth and new opportunities. By accepting that relationships may change or end, we can approach them with a healthier mindset. Instead of fearing the end, we can appreciate the present moment and the joy it brings. This perspective allows us to engage more fully in our relationships, knowing that our value is not dependent on the permanence of any single relationship. Consider this: when you embrace the idea of impermanence, you begin to cherish your experiences without the constant worrying of their duration. You become more present, more appreciative of the time you have with your partner. This mindset fosters gratitude and deepens the emotional connection, as you are fully engaged in the now rather than anxiously fixated on the future. This Stoic approach also prepares you to handle changes with grace. Should a relationship end, instead of seeing it as a failure, you can view it as a natural progression of life's journey. This outlook helps you to move on with resilience and an open heart, ready for new experiences and connections. Embracing impermanence doesn't mean you care less. It means you understand and accept the natural ebb and flow of life. It allows you to love freely without the fear of loss overshadowing your relationship. It teaches you to value your partner and your time together while recognizing that change is a part of life. In conclusion, applying Stoic principles to relationships involves understanding your true worth, presenting yourself with dignity, respecting boundaries, prioritizing actions over words, cultivating healthy skepticism, confidently saying no, and embracing impermanence. These lessons guide you to foster relationships built on mutual respect, inner strength, and genuine connection. By integrating these Stoic teachings, you empower yourself to navigate the complexities of relationships with wisdom, resilience, and grace. Thank you for watching. If you found these Stoic lessons valuable, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more insights on personal growth and relationships. Hit the bell icon to get notified whenever we upload new content. Share your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. Stay tuned and continue your journey towards becoming the best version of yourself. Until next time, stay wise and stay strong.